Amazing news for Uganda. Now, an analysis of the recent PLE results that we aired yesterday showed that over 1 million children who started primary one in 2013 dropped out along the way out of school. To help us understand why this happens and also share some solutions, we have James Kassaga, Arinaitwe, the Executive Director of Teach for Uganda, an organization deploying fresh graduates within rural areas. Very good afternoon, Kassaga, and thank you for joining us.
Thank you so much for having me, Romeo.
Straight, Mr. Kassaga, the impeccable analysis we did shows that most of the dropout rates are in rural areas. Is this what informs your work as Teach for Uganda?
Yes, thank you so much, Romeo, for having me on NTV. This really informs our work. Before Teach for Uganda came to launch in 2016, we actually did an analysis of the entire UPE system, and we realized that actually about 70% of our children drop out between P1 and P7, between grade 1 and grade 7. And that really informs our work. And the challenges that we're really seeing happening were three. They were on systemic level, the governance issues on leadership, especially the leadership that really cares about the learning of these children. There were budgetary issues on the low budgets that are really being given to UPE schools, especially the target is supposed to be 20% of our national budget. It has been declining now, it is at 10.7%. And then on the issue of content that actually appeals to the learning of the children, that is relevant in today's age to ensure that children feel excited about learning. And then the third one, the final one on the individual, especially for girls and their sanitary pads, they were not being able to have sanitary pads, for example. Kids are not able to eat in school. So those challenges really cause the dropout of our children for the most part. And for that reason, Teach for Uganda hires graduates like you and myself. We train them from all kinds of disciplines of study and prepare them who are passionate and take them to these rural schools to teach for 2 years, support the children and also the teachers and the parents to ensure that our children are put on a path to success.
Indeed, Mr. Kassaga, and you are the man on the ground indeed, but what do the numbers look like and how is the response to your efforts coming along?
Thank you so much, Romeo. The numbers are actually staggering. In rural Ruero and Mayuge, where we are right now, we actually went there because of the Kassaga Education Initiative.
Yes.
You find that one teacher is teaching up to 100 children in P1 and P2. And in some cases, like some schools like Kaluba, you find that you have a teacher who is about 60 years old, and they're actually teaching 200 children. So because of that, the numbers continue to show that they are dropping. But because of our young leaders who are now in 33 school communities, the numbers have come up to where we see at least 10% increase in enrollment and children actually passing the exams. Recently in Ruero, we had the first school in Ruero for the last 20 years scored having one child who got a first grade because of us. And at least the rest got second grade. And like 2 of them came in 4th grade.
Mr. Kassaga, before I let you go, what are some of the solutions you are putting in place to help us reduce the dropout rates in the rural areas?
Thank you. One, we ensure that these fellows of Teach for Uganda work with the schools, the school leaders, the community, and the parents to ensure that everyone is involved in the governance and the learning of their children. 2, our leaders ensure that these things like sanitary pads, like infrastructure issues, they partner with other people to bring in resources to ensure that these children have pads, for example, they have a meal to eat.